This is the Phillies Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Philadelphia Phillies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Oh, my goodness. Thank God that game is over. Oh, my goodness gracious. That was, wow. If you made it through that one, that's not the way you want to end the weekend. Welcome into the show. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzetta. It's great to have you along for the ride. Connor Thomas has you covered each and every day with the Locked On Phillies daily podcast. I got you covered for your Locked On Phillies Postcast. What a terrible way to come back from the All-Star break. Phillies get a rallying, exciting, grand slam, come-from-behind win in Game 2 of this series. Kyle Schwarber with the grand salami, the Schwarbomb of grand proportions. Bryce Harper got another home run last night. You're thinking, all right, a little jump start here. Come out with Ranger Suarez on the hill, and all of a sudden you're going to win a series at the start of the second half of the season. And nope. And look, there was a lot of weirdness that went into this game. First off, the delay, which I thought was really weird that they were going to not delay the game. The broadcast kept saying that it was optimistic about not delaying the game. They delayed the game, so that was weird. And then Schanuel had the interesting, fouled the ball off his knee, then got hit by a pitch, then had to leave the game. There was a lot of, herky-jerkiness to the start of this game. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to use that as an excuse for how bad Ranger Suarez was tonight. Were there things out of the ordinary? Sure. Could it have contributed to Suarez's struggles? Absolutely. But I'm not going to look at it as an excuse. And here's the reason why I'm not going to look at it as an excuse. Here are his numbers last year. Ranger Suarez. Now, March, obviously, he got started off on the wrong foot there, a 5.40 ERA. Not great. But then April, he had the 0.75 ERA, then a 2.32 ERA in May, then June, 3.48, not great. And then July, the wheels fell off, folks. This has haunted me. I'm going to show it again. This has haunted me. Even in the greatness of Ranger Suarez this year, this has haunted me. The fact that as the season goes on, he struggled last year. And it's happened in other years where there's been inconsistency. He had a similar ERA 2 years ago, the 0.75 or something, 0.72 2 years ago. I believe that was in the month of May before the wheels fell off in June, and then he got back on the wagon in July and then struggled in August. There's a lot of inconsistencies to Ranger Suarez's seasons so far. And that's not a comforting thing, even when you're watching him just flat out be dominant for long stretches, long periods of time. There are going to be bumps in the road. Now, I'm not predicting that now this is the bump in the road, but I'm simply not going to look at the herky-jerkiness, to use that phrase again, the way this game started out with the delay and the Schanuel thing and the one pitch, one out, and Marsh making the weird play in center field to start things out. I'm not going to blame it, but I'm just going to say I'm going to be aware of Suarez's history as a major league pitcher. That's it. It's a word of caution. That's all I have to say. Word of caution. The other thing I'm going to talk about, obviously, is the changeup today. One of my favorite things about each and every one of his starts really throughout this season has been just applauding that changeup and how deceptive that has been. The curveball had been great, but today the changeup had a lot of worries about it. And at one point in this game, he had thrown 13 changeups, and I believe this was in the third inning. 13 changeups, only 2 of them he was able to locate for strikes. And credit to the Angels, who were swinging early and often in counts when they thought he was throwing the changeup or saw the changeup release. They waited on it. They either waited on it to pounce or waited on it to be out of the zone and would not induce swings and misses. He didn't get those guys golfing or fishing for those low and away changeups that he has gotten so many different guys on. So a lot of concerns with Ranger Suarez today. You can look at it as one rough start for him. Allowed 3 runs in his last start. Oh, my goodness, maybe this is him really getting gotten to. And it could be if you go by history, like I just showed you the numbers. But I'm not going to lose my marbles over this one. I'm not going to predict that he is all of a sudden just going to be some terrible pitcher and have an ERA of 6 in the month of July, similar to last year. But it is a word of caution. And I hope the Phillies are on this. I hope Ranger Suarez is on this because I know a lot of people liked having fun saying that, oh, since his family came to see him pitch for the first time in the United States, oh, man, the wheels fell off the wagon then. I'm not going to look back on that. I know last year he had some trouble staying in shape. I'm hoping that is not the same case this year. So, look, this was a really bad start by Ranger Suarez. In total, it's 4 1/3 innings of work for Ranger Suarez today. 6 earned runs, 8 hits, 4 walks, and 100 pitches through just 4 1/3 for Ranger today. Not great. Now let's talk about our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I really do. I hate to do this, but Nolan Schanuel goes out of this game, and Lamonte Wade Jr. comes in. He gets thrown in. He gets thrust into the game all of a sudden. He only comes up with 3 hits and a home run. That's it. It's a nice little day for him. But if I had to say that there was one major turning point, that goes to somebody else.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
So let's look at this second inning, because this to me was absolutely the turning point of this game. And it actually was foreshadowing for a Bryce Harper at bat, the last Bryce Harper at bat of this game. The second inning is here. He gives up the RBI single to Neto. All of a sudden, you're down 1-0. Mike Trout has the bases loaded. Now, here's the deal. Soler goes up there, grounds out to short to start off that second inning. Then he gives up the single to Logan O'Hoppe, of course, former Phillies prospect. Renifo goes up there. He gets the single. Newman gets the single. So you got 1 out in the inning. You got the bases loaded. Then after that, you see Neto go up there. He gets the RBI single. You're down 1-0. Mike Trout's got the bases loaded. Or excuse me, after Neto gets the RBI single, Wade flies out to left field. Taylor Wade, who has had a phenomenal series. So Wade flies out to left field. You have 2 outs now in the inning. Bases loaded. Mike Trout steps to the plate. Mike Trout works a 3-2 count. Got the count full. Ranger Suarez puts I think it was a sinker at the top of the zone, called a ball. Same area that later in the game, Bryce Harper would get called out on strikes and just wave off the home plate umpire. I think I can say this guy's name right. Jasinski. Steven Jasinski, who, by the way, they also said at one point he was umpiring games in Canada at the age of 9. What? I don't know what it was about that, but that made me not like him. Learning that, I'm like, I don't want to be Boston. How old were the kids he was umpiring? Like 7? Was he umpiring T-ball? Trying to call balls and strikes? Take it easy. Anyway, so I didn't like that. Trout walks in a run. So that goes from a 1-0 game to a 2-0 game. And then, of course, Ward is your next hitter. Bases clearing double. He shoots in the left center field gap off the angled wall. It goes from a 1-0 game to a 2-0 game to a 5-0 game. And that, without question, is the turning point of this game. If Trout would have been rung up on strikes, that would have been the end of it. He eventually gets a Delta ground out to short to end that threat. As far as what should be talking about tomorrow,
this is what you'll be talking about.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. David Dombrowski. Oh, David. Oh, Dumbo, babe. The trade deadline's coming up. This Phillies team, they need some help. They need a whole hell of a lot of help. The inconsistency is what is haunting us over the last handful of years with this Phillies team in the lineup. The inconsistency is haunting us when it comes to the bullpen for this team. And I really feel, and I've alluded to the story many times about the Phillies being after a bullpen arm more so than a bat in this lineup. And I could get why they would want to add to the bullpen because that obviously needs help. But I think this Phillies brass looks at this lineup and goes, well, these guys are paying a lot of money to hit, so sooner or later they better hit. Okay, that's great. They're not. Not with consistency. And we have seen their bats go ice cold when it matters most. Last night, you were able to come away with a nice big fat victory. You get a grand slam. You get a 2-run home run. You get 6 of those runs by way of the long ball, which is always nice. But where's the small ball? Where's producing a run? Today, one of their runs came from a solo home run from Otto Kemp, his second as a big leaguer. By the way, that was one hell of an at-bat. He hung in there after getting a 98-mile-per-hour sinker almost off his cheek. This cheek, not the one down there. This one. Just got out of the way of that one, and then later in the at-bat, I believe it was a 3-2 pitch, low and away. He went with it and put it about 2 rows back in right field. That's great, but where's the small ball? Where's manufacturing runs? There was opportunity for the Phillies early in this game in the second inning, for instance, to really get something going for themselves. They manufactured a run. You had Brandon Marsh go station to station after a leadoff single. Kemp actually grounded out to short. Marsh went to second. Then Kepler, whatever he's still doing here, he grounded out to second. Marsh went to third. Then Rafael Marchand got the RBI base knock to center field. He's on base. Bryson Stott works a walk. Maybe Trey Turner's going to do something special. He does not. He grounds out to first base. And that was that. First inning, you had another opportunity. Schwarber got the 1-out base knock. Harper reached on an error, so they're giving you an extra out. You got first and second with 1 out. Castellanos grounds right into the double play. And that would be all she wrote for that inning. Phillies had another opportunity in the 4th inning after a 1-out single by Otto Kemp, his first hit of the game. You saw Kepler ground into the fielder's choice, and then Marchand ground out after a wild pitch to short. And that ended that threat, if you even want to call it that. The consistency is going to continue to be a thing with this Phillies team. Now, unlike Ranger Suarez, where you can certainly look at his past years and go, okay, yeah, he's hit bumps in the road that have lasted longer than you'd like, but he's more often than not gotten back on the straightened path. But this lineup has done the same thing time and time again. They get you the big runs, they get you the big hits, and then all of a sudden, ice cold. So where's this Philly team going to go, Dave Dombrowski? That's what I feel like this fan base, this is what I feel like you will be talking about up until the trade deadline. That and, the Eagles reporting to training camp on Tuesday. So that one's fun too. When we come back, we're going to take your comments. We're also going to look through the bullpen, how they did today, and also look through your starting lineup for your Phillies. We'll talk about that when we return. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Let me tell you guys about SupplyHouse.com. How fantastic are they with their Trade Master program? SupplyHouse.com. Get the supplies you need from the site that's made with the skilled trades and for the skilled trades. SupplyHouse.com. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product information to help you get the job done right, because that is what is most important. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need, delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert-supported, industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. You can even join their Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. So take advantage right now. Plus, you can also use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order at supplyhouse.com. That's SH5 for 5% off your first order at supplyhouse.com. And how about FanDuel? Summer sports in full swing. And whether you're all about baseball under the lights, whether you're all about golf on the green, or maybe some high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little bit more interesting? With FanDuel, you can get on the action while your friends are getting sunburned on the beach. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups, and the app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. It's easy to use, has a fast payout, and makes regular season games feel like must-watch events. And if you're new to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com. Before we get into the chat check, we haven't looked at the lineup card just yet. Trey Turner, 1 for 4 on the day. Kyle Schwarber, 1 for 4. And then Harper and Castellanos go 0 for 8 combined. Harper taking 2 strikeouts. One, I don't charge to him. He was up 3-0. Then there was an awful call, 3-1. Fouled one away, 3-2. Then another awful call, top of the zone. So I'll charge that one to the umpire there. But all in all, still Harper 0 for 4 on the day. Reach base once on an error. Brandon Marsh got a hit today, 1 for 4. Otto Kemp was 2 base knock kind of day. And Rafael Marchand also got you a base knock as well. And, hey, Bryson Stott worked a couple of walks. Yay! As for your pitchers, I mentioned Ranger Suarez. Joe Ross, not so great today. Only allowed the 1 run, but 3 hits, a walk. Not what you want to see from him. Seth Johnson today gave up 1 run. Romano came up there. How about him? A 1-2-3 8th inning for Jordan Romano. 6 pitches. Way to be there. Way to go, Jordan Romano. How about that? And Max Lazar out there giving you 1 inning, giving up just 1 hit. There you go. Not too bad. All right, let's get into the chat check and see what you guys are saying about this one today. Ranger Danger, says Morgan Landy. John, please, for the love of Phillies fan sanity and the Max Kepler experience, I'm with you, says John. Sorry, I read that without putting it up. There you go. Sir Sketchable, best thing Kepler did today was make a solid throw to the pitcher on a base hit to left when the guy wasn't even trying to score from third. We should all stand and applaud. JDM, stink, with a emoji of a skunk. Ranger Stranger, says Jess Patrick. That's funny. Ken, the heat and humidity were high. The Phillies' energy was low. Hopefully the Angels keep rolling against the Mets, and the Phillies remember how to play baseball again versus the Sox. Yeah, you got the the Red Sox coming to town. You got the Red Sox coming to town. Then you go to the Yankees for 3, and then you go to the Chicago White Sox for 3. Good times. Seabrook 9, not blaming the ump for the loss. Neither am I. I agree. But the same pitch that walked Trout led. Thank you. Thank you. You and I are on the same page. Look at us. Look at us. Philly Nate, Rangers velocity so weak. Yeah, that's the thing. Like his fastball velocity was only down like 1 mile per hour. But when you're popping the mid at like 90 or 91, that 1 mile per hour makes a bit of a difference. Joel, I'm with you. Turning point was a strike on. Absolutely. Who knows how differently the game is? I concur. Jerry Von Skyver, well, that sucked. I concur. Steven over Ranger. Okay. Joseph Grillo, Scusi. Grillo, sadly, the pitching is beginning to leak while the offense is showing some life. The pitching leaking. Oh, yeah. Floodgates today, friend. Floodgates. No, but the bats, 2 runs today. That ain't doing. Also, only 6 strikeouts by Phillies bats today. See where I'm with you. Seabrook, as far as your intro is exactly how I'm feeling about this one. Oh my God, thank God it's over. It was like there are certain games, man, you just watch them and you go, like, for instance, if I'm in your shoes, like if I'm watching these games as a fan, I'm looking at it being like, okay, this game is like there's a moment, like I even before I was talking on a microphone after every game, I would stick it out through everything, but I would never turn it off. It would just become background noise where I'd be like, okay, this game is 5-0 now. Okay. All right. I got to do some stuff around the house, but I'll be checking in on the game. Oh, wait, how'd they do that? Rewind on the DVR, that kind of thing. But yeah, good on you guys for sticking through it. Offense, Jeremy Von Scaver, the offense has been 6 feet under. This team cannot be offensively productive 2 games in a row. Does seem like a wee bit of a curse. Joseph Grillo again. Hello. Nick should be pinch hit for every time first and third with 1 out. Swings at the automatic roller. Oh, there was one. First pitch police. Call him in. Woo, woo, woo. First pitch police. It was Trey Turner that did it to me this time. Yes. Okay. 7th inning, Marchand grounds out to second. Renifo made a great job, a great play. How about Neto, by the way? He was sick in this series at shortstop. He was really sick today. He was awesome at shortstop today for them. Great play by him. But Stott walks on 5 pitches, takes a first pitch strike, and then takes 4 pitches out of the strike zone. So 4 straight balls out of the strike zone. Bryson Stott works a walk. So now I got a runner on base. It's still an 8-2 game, so I'm not saying this is why they lost the game, but it's just one of those things that annoys me. Again, first pitch, please. Turner comes up there, swings at the first pitch. Now, this is what drives me bananas, is when you see a pitcher start to lose their arm slot, and Soriano was pitching at this point. They allude to it throughout the game that he's capable of walking, guys, and he is. So he just walks Stott. Turner comes up to the plate, swings in the first pitch, grounds out the third. Not just grounds out the third, but 5-4-3 double play. Bing, bang, boom, done. Didn't like that. Joseph Brennan, hello. How do you give up 3 hits to a guy that didn't even start? Not only that, he ended the game batting average of $160. Yeah. And hit a ball into the upper deck. How about that? Anthony Casalena. Playoffs, but no World Series. I agree. I'm still with you. It's up to, that's why I talk about Dave Dombrowski. This is up to him. Change my mind. Dave Dombrowski. Hey, look, the Phillies could be on a tear for a month, offensively speaking, and I still won't be convinced that they'll do it in the playoffs. So Dave Dombrowski, go get me a guy that I can have confidence in having a good at bat, getting a base knock, getting on base, playing great in left field. Go get me that guy. Go get me Stephen Kwan. Go get me that guy. And then go get me a back end of the rotation. Hey, go ahead and make the trade with Clase. Go ahead and make the trade with the Guardians. Go get Clase. Go get Stephen Kwan. Bing, bang, boom. We're good there. You know what I mean? TJ can't score, can't win. I concur with that. Austin Hayes having a good year, of course. Yes, he has. Well documented. Cody Clemens as well. Also having himself one heck of a year. Jeremy, yes, absolutely. Cody Clemens. Anthony, it's no trade Dave ball. No trades equals no change. No trades equal no change. Just worn out after the All-Star break? I hope not. Farzy, are you still a believer in the Fightins? I mean, it's obvious they lose 2 out of 3 every series. Not every series. I mean, they're a 500 ball club basically right now, which is not great, but I still think they keep it together enough to, at the worst, win a wild card. Like I've been saying all year. Look, they're going to be in the playoffs. It's just a matter of whether or not they're going to fizzle out in the postseason. Jeremy, Jordan Romano's ERA now under 7. There we go. Can we somehow blame Walker for today's abomination, says Michael? No, unfortunately. Nad, what the hell are you talking about? I literally have been, for 2 weeks now, have been calling Dave Dombrowski the most important person in Philadelphia sports, because if he doesn't make a significant move at the deadline, they're dead again. And then he's probably out of a job. That ain't defending a guy. That's putting a big spotlight on the guy. I did see 24. Miss Scuzzi. Terry G, you have no idea what my politics are, nor does it matter. It's a baseball program. Thank you. Terry, thank you for reiterating my own point. This is why we have trust issues with this Phillies team. What do you... Thank you. Frank, Philadelphia fizzles. Yeah, that's kind of accurate. Thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys are great as per usual. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow. Monday game, Walker, Buehler, Zach Wheeler. That'll be a fun one tomorrow. That'll be a good time. Good time in South Philadelphia. 6:45 start time, 3-game series with the Red Sox. Before they continue with the American League, and they actually continue with the AL East. Yeah, first the Red Sox, then the Yankees. Buehler, by the way, just 6-6 on the season with a 6.12 ERA on the year. The 30-year-old righty out of Lexington, Kentucky. He is coming off a start against the Tampa Bay Rays, where he went 6 innings, allowed 3 runs, all earned on 5 hits, 2 home runs, and also a 10-3 win over the Washington Nationals, 5 innings, 3 runs, 2 earned, 8 hits. No homers in that one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys have a great rest of your day. My name is Mark Farzetta. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow following Phillies, Red Sox, and hopefully the Phils getting back on the winning track, and plenty of run support for Zach Wheeler. A guy can dream, can he? Again, thanks for watching. Make sure Connor Thomas has got your like and subscription as well for each and every daily Locked On Phillies podcast. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.